Hey guys, today we're covering Ochakov, and this is actually just my first game in it, so bit of a dry run, but I thought I'd give it a go. So I'm running all these modules here, running concealment for the extra dispersion, main battery for the additional reloads, and propulsion to get there quicker. So this is my commander build here: Philip Vian for Norman Scott for better accuracy at range, igniter, punch through, fixated, and refill station because the Ochakov has 30mm of pen, so EOP may not necessarily be the best choice. 50% fire chance with 4.8 second reload is pretty nice. 8km torps and that 11.7km radar. Pretty darn strong, so let's get into my very first game in it, and this is my tester build, just obviously when I do these masterclasses I like to test out tons of different builds, and therefore I can give it more combined and good overall how the ship works, because I don't want to show you just a good game and then this you can improve by doing X, Y, and Z. But I thought, this game has been very interesting results, so I thought, this is kind of the build I'm going to go for. So I'm literally looking at the ship right now, just finding out what it works. In a legendary game, but mostly tier 7s. Switching to HE, of course. I've been told a lot this AP is very good, so I do hope to test it at some point when I have the capacity. Now, Russian cruiser, Ochakov, which means generally it will perform well when shooting HE at longer ranges, because the Russian ballistics are very good, very fast shells, and relatively accurate as well. Now, unlike the Kutuzov, this thing has double or dual barrels for the turrets instead of triple barrels, so you're missing out on 4 guns, which is quite a bit. But you do have a pretty darn significant reload, and I usually would opt for the range mod for the Russians, because you definitely like that extra range. You're already pretty darn rangy, and you have Kuznetsov already, which gives you more range, so running the range mod is pretty nice. But I thought I'd give it a go with the main battery mod to see how the extra DPM will help out. Turrets turn really well, even with this commander with the main battery mod on, so perfectly fine. Thinking about shooting the DD there, but it's a little bit risky. I understand DD spawn, great idea to shoot it, but if I shoot, I'm pretty much, well, the second closest thing for enemy ships to shoot at, and there's a Jean Bart, so pretty risky. Farmer's thrust valve, this without EOP, just fixing number of torpedoes, just honestly just testing out. Yeah, pretty good first salvo of the game. Double fire, 3 pens, and then 4 shatters. The 3 pens is kind of surprising because Jean Bart's 32 everywhere pretty much, and 4 shatters are no doubt probably on his guns, but I'm actually doing relatively not bad. 5 shatters there. Again, more about this because the Jean Bart is 4 shatters on the Jean Bart. The Jean Bart is 32mm everywhere, so if I'm hitting the gun turrets, I hit the gun turrets, but if I'm not, I'm actually doing some not bad damage here. And I'm sending help at the fires at this point. Just getting what I can. I'm just farming them without any repercussion because using island cover, that's what cruisers do. Russians, pretty well done. This boat is really quick as well. If you abuse cover, you can shoot over islands very comfortably at extreme ranges in the Russians. And you just kite at long range. Everything you can... Basically at this range, the shells lose a lot velocity, and you can really punish and dupe the shells more comfortably. So just trying to spread out my fires. I've already got this guy in a double fire, or is it a single fire? I think it's a single fire in the Jean Bart, but I think I'd work on the Alaska as he's a little bit more dangerous immediately, at least for my Yamato, who I did ask to go back because he's a little bit overextending. But let's see what I can do. So yeah, peppering the Jean Bart. See the... I think I have peppered hit the Vladivostok there. No, I'm peppering the Jean Bart. Jean Bart has fired here. We're gonna change our speed. Oh, we didn't change the speed, but we took most of it. We just took 1 shot. Luckily, it was either a penetration or a Nova Pen. I'm not 100% sure. Doesn't seem like it. Maybe it was a penetration, but not bad. Not much damage taken. I duked it effectively. When you're playing these Russian cruisers at range, you do have to be aware of what's shooting at you. And if you're not 100% comfortable with it, recommend running Makarov for the ingenious skill. Jean Bart is having a fun day. He is being set on fire again and again. And we've already racked up the damage to 41k. Doing pretty well. We're going to spam the Jean Bart. He's the most dangerous boat there. There's a Vladivostok, but I'm more reliable to do damage to the Jean Bart because number one, he's closer, and number two, for me at least, more importantly, he is shooting me. So we're going to slow it right down. We're going to take that whole salvo. We're going to speed it right back up. We're just going to set him on fire again and again and again. Because he's having a fun day. He's really having a fun day. And this boat is insanely good at setting fires. And the reload is pretty darn extreme. It's actually a little bit better than, what do you call it, the Cleveland. Obviously the Cleveland has more guns, but this is pretty darn crazy. Pretty darn hysterical. I do like these boats. These are very strong boats, don't get me wrong. But if you put them in the right hands or for someone, a decent player, these things really shine. So if you're good with your cruisers, you will love this boat. And if you're not great, well, we'll see. We'll see. It may seem like easy here, but you can, if you take one hit the wrong way, that could be a rip for the whole game there. Trying out the AP. He is kind of angled, so I'm more of testing it here. I really should just keep the HE on. He's not giving me enough angle to effectively use AP. I do switch here, but it's more of a test sort of thing. You know, I just want to see. Our range is a little bit lacking of this build. I feel a more comfortable build would be a range build instead of the main battery, but I do like this extra DPM, so I think I'm going to roll with it for that foreseeable future. But a range mod in the final slot would not be a bad idea. As I said, this boat is really quick, going 21 knots in reverse, and it's getting there really quick, and this propulsion mod really paying itself off. And it's pretty maneuverable already without using the steering gears mod or the, you know, instead of concealment or the steering instead of propulsion. I definitely prefer propulsion, 100%. Now, we're shattering mostly on the Vladivostok, but we are getting some pens as well. It's actually 12 pens, 15, mostly shatters, but we're still getting some pens. And it's all about the fires in the Vladivostok. We can't pen 50mm, but we can certainly start some fires. And we can definitely aim for the superstructure, because not only are the Russian cruisers good at shooting HE at range, they are exceptionally good at being accurate from range. That's why my normal squat ability helps in, because the accuracy does diminish a little bit at range, and the normal squat tightens it back up again. So it's very accurate. And the shells go almost where I want them to go. I'm trying to aim further back, of course, but I'm mainly just trying to get the hits for those fires. Now, this Vladivostok is running the triple fire skill, and I do actually set triple fires. I did not know. It's not very often skill taken by people, so I do try and set the triple fire, but an easy counter to that is just hit the same spot of the ship, and chances are you'll never set another fire. Anyway, Vladivostok goes down to torpedoes, and we are pretty much done on this whole flank. The destroyer can safely cap, and we've racked up a fair amount of damage as well. We've kited it away, we've taken almost no damage. We take one shell from the Jean Bart, and that's about it. You see I'm pretty far back, but I supported the whole team there. That's what the Russians do, you really support from afar. That's why you have a long range radar. Yeah, definitely. The radar is useful, but it's more useful late game than early game. Being aggressive in this boat early game is not advisable. You are very squishy, you don't have much armor, you're a typical cruiser play. So you need to be careful, and you need to use your range wisely. Now remember, this is without the range build here. I would run even more range than this for a more comfortable build. If you're not 100% on the cruisers, if you're a little bit more experienced in cruisers like myself, then I recommend running this particular build. But if you're not comfortable, definitely run the range mod. So yeah, we're just going to push back in. As I said, this boat is very quick. Already up to 33 knots there for a minute there. 36. Very quick for a cruiser. It picks up speed incredibly quick. Even with a propulsion mod, this is very quick. Very fast. So I'm going to push in. Again, the range is a little bit lacking, but I'm going to push in, and we're going to see what we can do done. Trying to find out, again, what my detection is. I know it says on the screen there, but you just try to work out all the kinks. It's my first time playing this ship, and to see where the torpedoes are. Torpedoes are pretty long range as well. 8 kilometers. It's pretty darn nice. Definitely good for a Mogami sort of playstyle. If someone's rushing you, you could just kite away, torpedo them, because your turning is really good as well. Bismarck's having a fun time. I could be switching to AP, but setting the fires is far more influential than the AP right now. And there's the Witherer, of course. Just because the fires are so valuable. I could shoot the AP and do a little bit more damage, yes, but the damage over time will be far more valuable than the AP necessarily, unless I can kill them. AP is more for direct damage, or rather than... Bismarck got a good salvo on me there, but we duked it there carefully. We're still duking this, yes. We're giving broadside to the Mogami, but it's more of a risk that I need to take. He has already fired, and he's fired HE. Mogami's not got a great reload, so I can definitely go here. Bismarck goes down to the fire. Someone else must have slapped him maybe, or I didn't see what happened there obviously. Now we're angled against the Mogami. Trying at the AP again, just more of a test. I'm trying to see how the AP is. In retrospect, probably should have used HE. On that salvo though, particularly, Mogami should have a good time with the AP. 2 pens, not bad. 1 over pen. Probably more reliable with the HE because he is actually keeping somewhat of an angle, so I'll probably keep the HE back on. But yeah, I'm still testing the boat. This is me testing the boat, seeing what angles work, what angles don't work, and just generally finding out what's going on. Yamato comes out of nowhere effectively and does try a salvo at me, but we take most of it. Unfortunately, that Mogami does take out our steering. Because we're running a Russian boat, Russian cruisers don't really have the best stealth unless you really build into it, and there's no much point because I'm always shooting. If you have a range of like 19 kilometers and you're always shooting, there's not really much point in building to detection because all the tech you'll be spotted anyway, so there's no point. So why would you build a concealment? This is the only type of cruiser line I don't build a concealment. Meanwhile, our steering is cut out, so we cannot mess around here. I can still play around with my speed if need be, but it's just the Mogami shooting at me, which is not a problem. If that Yamato shot, I would be messing with my speed. I would be doing whatever I can to dodge those shots, because I could be a dead Ochakov rather quickly. You don't have to, you know, play the ship. Do you know this thing is squishy? You can see the armor gear of the ship. Speaking of the armor gear of the ship, I might as well go over that real quick. Basically, 25 everywhere, pretty darn weakly armoured with a 27mm deck. So long range you should be able to bounce 15-inch, but again, this is the sort of boat that's very squishy. I wouldn't risk it. This is not something I would reliably rely on. I wouldn't rely on that. I would just say this thing is a glass cannon and treat it as such. So, I actually do end up firing a shot here, I think. Or did I already do that? I need to try and bait. Yeah, I did. I already fired a shot. So I need to try and bait out the Mogami to shoot, because that's the only way I can finish him. So I did shoot blindly this apple, not expecting to hit him, more just expecting to have him shoot back, because his detection is pretty good as a Mogami, even if he doesn't build into it, and he's probably going to just outspot me and get the first salvo anyway. So if you give him the opportunity to shoot, he'll realise, and then he'll realise that he's actually made a big mistake here. And he's probably going to burn to death, or the AP will finish him off. Either one, he's pretty much done for. Is that going to be? I did switch AT because he's angled again. He is switching back and forth. He shouldn't last much longer. Double fire. I'm going to burn damage control on that. I was a little bit cautious of damage control just in case he takes out my steering. That's kill number 3. We're on to the Siegfried now. Now, Siegfried, very dangerous. If he gets a good salvo, he could rip me a new one as well, so we need to be careful with this. In reverse, just changing the speed up here, and we're going to do a full turn to the right here, and sooner or later we're going to turn our guns to the right as well. But at the minute, I want to keep my crosshair on the target, because I don't know if he's going to shoot someone else, and there we pass away. Now we're going to turn our guns the other way. We're just going to get more shots in, as many shots as we can. These are free shots, so they're definitely worth taking. So we're going to slow down here. We're going to use this island a little bit to shoot from stealth. There's no reason not to. This is exactly what you want to have in a cruiser. You just want to shoot from stealth. You want to use island cover whenever possible. Just because you're not American doesn't mean you can't use islands. Every cruiser uses islands, even the Germans. And when you're long range away, you can shoot over most islands, just purely because of the length you're going for. Now, AP would probably be better here, but I really want to get the fires set, so I kept on the HE a little bit, but this is when I really get to test the AP. Broadside Siegfried, relatively heavily armoured cruiser. Oh, but turns out I'm the one spotting him, so we got to keep pushing here. Relatively armoured cruiser, and shouldn't be too much of a problem. Depends on him though, probably not going to get Citadel, just too heavily armoured as a cruiser. Does have the turback as well. This range it shouldn't be that effective, but it still might be a problem. So we're getting pretty decent damage here. 3 pens, 1 over pen. I was kind of hoping for some citadels at this point. We are far enough away for the turtleback to be relatively ineffective, but I guess he's not keeping the 100% angle on the go here. Yeah, the AP is good. It's alright. It's just typical Russian AP. It's just as good as the Kuchezov in my opinion. I just don't see it being particularly better than HE. I mean, the HE's got the advanced pen. It's very reliable. Unless someone giving you a flat broadside on a very weakly armored cruiser, I would keep on the HE. So, keep going the AP, getting it and go. That's why I did the HE. HE did 5k, and the AP is definitely worth shooting at this point, but the HE is very reliable. If you don't have the clear broadside, I would just not use that. I would use the HE. So, 175k, 24 fires set, 4 kills, not the Kraken, Confederate, Wither, High Caliber, and if I got the kill on the Jean Bart, that would have been Arsonist Award. So yeah, overall, very fun game, very strong ship, 3,400 base XP, and yeah, this is pretty fun. We hope you guys enjoyed this, and as always, catch you next time. Bye for now.